Hey everybody, this is Javier Vidana and welcome to another real estate tips video where I give you straightforward real estate advice that you can use to accomplish your home goals. So you finally found the house you'd love. You get the offer accepted. It looked pretty good during the showings, but you really don't know. And the home inspection happens and it turns out the house has a lot of severe issues. This video is for folks who are currently dealing with this or perhaps not yet looking for a home, more or less preparation for how to deal with an inspection if it comes with a lot of issues. Before I continue, I'd like to let you know that this is coming from an experienced realtor who's been in the business over 5 years now. I have dealt with a lot of homes. I've dealt with expensive homes. I've dealt with cheap homes. I've dealt with homes that are cheap becoming great. I've dealt with clean inspections, bad inspections. Let me first say, a home inspector will always find something wrong with the house. They want to make your money's worth. The fact that you hired him for $300, $400, they're not just going to say house is good. They're going to be able to go into the nitty gritty and they're always going to find something. So never expect a clean home inspection. Even if you're a new build, you shouldn't expect a clean home inspection. So I get a lot of people, in talking in real estate, or sometimes my clients, where they'll be talking about the inspection and then they're going to say, I hope it passes inspection, or it failed inspection. Whenever I hear my clients say that, I always make it sure to stop and say there is no such thing as a pass or a fail. A home inspection is to let the buyer know what is wrong with the house. Yes, you, depending on your state, and at least in Arizona, you could negotiate to do some repairs with the home, but it's not a pass-fail. That could be a dangerous mentality to have, because as soon as you tell yourself that something failed, then you're already starting negative. Things aren't going to work out. You're going to be thinking, oh man, well, we need to get this passed. We need to get this going. Get rid of that mentality. It's not a pass-fail. It's a let's find out what's wrong with this house and how we can fix it. Look at your market and establish what really is wrong. So what I mean by that is, if you're buying what's considered the bottom of the market, not bottom, but you're buying a first-time home, a first-time buyer home in that area where it's not too expensive, then maybe, of course, you shouldn't be expecting such a perfect report. Now, let me use a real-life example. There was a situation in one of my home inspections where my buyer was concerned that the house still had the cooler when there was a functioning AC unit at the house. Now, she tried to make a big deal about it, the fact that it's going to be some potential issues and whatnot, but I always just asked her, look at the area we're in. All these houses, and I was right, about over 80% of houses still have that old cooler on the roof. Is that a good thing? Well, of course not. I mean, you don't want something that's not functioning, that's pretty heavy on top of your roof. However, we can safely assume if the inspector says it's okay, and there's no gaping holes in there, and there's other houses in the area that still has it, it's not such a major issue, is it? Now, of course, it's something you need a budget for down the road, maybe hiring a crane or hiring somebody to take it down, but it's more or less, comparing it to the neighborhood, it's not such a critical issue. Here's another example for you guys. I got 2 examples for this point. That's pretty cool. Most houses in Arizona back in the day were built with aluminum wiring. And anytime an inspector catches this, it's a red flag. They're gonna let the buyer know, hey, this house still has aluminum wiring. It has not been upgraded yet. You need to watch out. Aluminum wiring has been known to cause fires. And of course, this freaks everybody out. I want to run out of the house as soon as I hear that. However, in some situations, I ask the buyer, okay, let's talk about this. The electrical panel box looks kind of small, looks outdated, yes, but let's look at the house in the area. What's the last fire that's been documented in this neighborhood? Odds are not many, and if there has been, it started by a water heater or something like that, right? So before we freak out and we ask for brand new wiring for the entire house, which is a pretty big pill to swallow, let's consider the neighborhood, okay? Let's drive around. That house has old wiring. That house has old wiring. That house has old wiring. Oh, that house looks like it's updated. Now, if you start seeing there's a lot of houses with this old wiring, yes, it's something you have to keep an eye on in the future. However, if you love the house, you shouldn't let it deter you from, buying it. Always have a running list of who you know and in what professions. And before you decide to ask what you're going to ask for in the home inspection, have that list ready. This is what I mean. First off, start off with what you know. Let's use me as an example in this situation. What do I know about homes? Well, other than the fact that I'm a realtor, I am somewhat proficient in hardware. I know nothing about electrical work. I know nothing about plumbing. I can probably screw some things in. I can probably do some remodels, change the flooring, but that's all I know. So automatically all those boxes are unchecked except like the doors or something involving screws. It's simple to do. I have an uncle who is an air conditioning tech. So I have someone I trust as an AC tech that'll be able to at least give me a good deal if I need an AC guy. Okay, what else do I know? My father's in construction, so if I need to build anything, I can go to him. Okay, let's keep going. My father-in-law is pretty good with termite. As a matter of fact, he's a manager for a termite company, so I have that in mind. So you can already tell, I'm making a list. I'm starting to figure out who do I know that does what, and etc. So hopefully that list is nice and big. Hopefully you're a Superman. You're an actual man and not like me who only knows what to do one thing, and you know how to do plumbing and electrical stuff. So having that list at hand, compare it to your home inspection. Now, if the home inspection has a lot of red flags, or even not red flags, but caution things, let's consider what can be done by your people and not done by your people. So let's just say that the roof is not in good shape, and the inspector is saying, well, it has probably a few years left on the life. But he's also saying some other things that are pretty, not so serious, but pretty serious that need to get taken care of. Now, to tackle a new roof for a home inspection repair is a pretty big thing. We're talking over $3,000 or $5,000. It has happened, and I have been able to do it. But if you're buying a first-time home and there's multiple offers at first, and it's probably going to be difficult to get it done. So if there's other things that need to get repaired, we can tackle that thing. Now, the roof issue does need to get probably taken care of. So let's just say you happen to know a cousin or a brother that is in roofing. Great. Call them up. Hey, not hiring your company. If I hire you for a weekend, maybe, buy you some beer and some meat. Carne asada is what we use here in Arizona. How much would you charge to do that? A company will charge you $8,000, but I'll charge you probably $1,000 or $2,000 in materials. We'll get it done. Perfect. So now you have that in mind. Now, if the roof is a huge issue and you have nothing or nobody in roofing, then that situation, that's probably something we need to tackle. We need to ask for the seller to repair. If not, then move on and find another house, right? So use that list and help you determine what you can do and what you can budget for down the road, rather than things that you don't know nothing about that we just have the seller take care of. Before you decide on what you want repaired, make sure they're not cosmetic or minor. So this is what I mean. If there's a booger on the wall, don't ask for repairs saying, remove the booger on the wall, sanitize wall, and repaint wall to matching color. That's completely ridiculous. It's something cosmetic. Yes, it has a booger in the wall. Yes, that's disgusting. But paint it after, you close. It's not a big deal, right? So don't ask for cosmetic or minor things like that, because you're not setting the right tone with the seller. The seller still has, at least in Arizona, I don't know your state, still has a right to just reject your request of repairs and move on to another buyer. It's that simple. But if you sound unreasonable with the things you're asking for, they're not going to take you seriously. So if it's any minor cosmetic stuff, already talked about things you can do yourself, that should have been taken away with the dirt mentality portion of it. But if it's something cosmetic or super minor, like an outlet needs to be changed out, or I don't know, something, I don't want to give you specific examples because I don't want to get in trouble, but you can see what's minor, not major. Take that out of the list. That's not important. Come on, you can take care of that stuff. It's important to go through each item that's concerning to you and ask yourself this question: if the seller doesn't replace this, is the next buyer going to ask the seller to replace it? Using that question, you should eliminate some things. So for example, if the window's broken in the living room, is this something that the next buyer might ask for? I think it will be, because it's a pretty, come on, you can't have a broken window, especially appraisals, they call that out all the time. So yeah, that's definitely something that could be on the list. Sorry, lighting changed a little bit, camera passed out on me, but anyways, now that's all I got for you guys. Now, if that list got narrowed down to 3 to 5 items, that's usually the money number, where it's reasonable but not unreasonable, right? The seller should be able to see that you're not asking for crazy things. This is things that you need to get taken care of so you can feel more comfortable with the house. And also, it's very important that, this is more for realtors, but let them know what you didn't ask for. Now, don't say the whole list, but when I call and I say, hey, first of all, I'm going to send you the BINSR shortly. BINSR's the report or the request of repairs. I let them know, hey, there was a lot of items at the house that we could have asked for, like for example, the AC would need a tune-up, X whatever. But my buyer's reasonable. They narrowed down to the list where they think that you should be able to handle, and they can handle the rest. Now, an experienced agent, that's just gonna go in here one after the other. But maybe you might get an agent that says, "Wow, these guys are really serious." Because remember, you never get to do the first impression to the seller. The listing agent gets to go. So if the listing agent's all pissed off at you, they're gonna go there to the seller and say, "Oh my God, look at all these repairs they're asking for. Do not do none of this. They have no right. Whatever, we should have gone with the other buyer." Now the seller is just gonna reciprocate that, right? But if you're not buttering, that sounds wrong. If you're being fair and honest and professional with this listing agent, then they're gonna go and say, "Listen, they did send a bunch of stuff. They said there was a bunch of stuff that they're wrong, but they narrowed it down to 5, so that's really reasonable." Now, if your list ends up having more than 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, ask for it. They might come back and not repair everything, but ask for it. And now if they come back and they say, "Hey, we'll fix this, and not this," then you have a very difficult decision to make. One critical question I would ask myself in your situation is, how long did it take me to get to this house? If you've been looking for 5 months now, and finally this one house that you like pops up and you are able to get an escrow, ask yourself, is it worth throwing away this house and keep looking for another house? Now, if you've been looking for about a few weeks and you've seen a lot of houses that you love and you finally got one, it's okay to get rid of this one if they don't want to fix what you want, because you're just going to find another one you like in a few days. You always consider what you're dealing with and what you're working with. Don't just, emotions, never make up your mind in one night. I've dealt with a lot of people, and myself included, where they get so emotional, heated because of this inspection stuff, and how could they? They knew it was a cheaper house. Just sleep on it. Next day, think about it. See what you want to do. Hope this video helps, guys. If you like what I gotta say, hit subscribe. I say this funny. Listen, I have 1,500 views on my "How much money does it cost for first-time home buyers to buy a house?" And I have to say, I kind of got discouraged like a month ago, 2 months ago, because I would only get like 10, 15, 20, 30 views. And I know this is so bad, but I'd say, what's the point? Nobody's watching my stuff. I checked my videos like last week, and I'm like, what? Who's watching my videos? And then I get calls from people like in California saying, "Hey man, can you help me buy my house?" And I think this is amazing. I'm really happy that you guys are able to see that I'm trying to provide actual real estate advice, and I don't have like intentions to try to convert you to clients or anything like that. I really do appreciate that. So by saying that, now I say, if you are in Arizona, I love to help you buy and sell your home. If you want to know more about me, what I'm about, what I'm involved in, go to my website, javiervidana.com, where I talk about, where there's a link where you can start looking for houses. You can also see other things I'm involved with, like my nonprofit or my YouTube channel and stuff like that. So thank you guys. That's it. I appreciate your time. Hope this video helps you. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to me in my social media, which if you go to javiervidana.com, you scroll to the bottom, you can see my Instagram, my Twitter, my Facebook, all that good stuff. Thank you guys. Hope you have a great day, evening, morning. Go out there and kill it. I need to come up with the catchphrase at the end.